Hello Internet, Austin Smith here with a review of the Manuscript Classic Fountain Pen. Now, some people might know that I reviewed a Manuscript Classic a while ago, and it looked like this. This was a particular calligraphy model, and although the pen bodies themselves should be exactly the same, they aren't. I'll show you the differences later, but first we're going to talk about the packaging. This came from Hobby Lobby. I forgot to take the price tag off, don't really feel like showing it to you. Classic fountain pen, smooth writing tip, why not? Finger grips and aid pen control, yes, they always do. Long-lasting durable nib, perhaps. 2 ink cartridges, that is true. One black, one blue, one's inside the pen, one's there. I like black. Cartridge, nib with medium comfort grip. Interesting, probably not really. Manuscript Classic Fountain Pen is truly the best choice for everyday use at home, work, or in the classroom. Probably not. I'll show you why in a minute. Ergonomic lightweight design, it is quite lightweight. Blah 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 blah. How to insert the cartridge, how to put the other cartridge in so that you have an extra cartridge. I don't know why they just don't give you long cartridges. Probably because, I guess, then you can feel like you were saved or something. Care of your pen. Wash the nib occasionally under lukewarm running water. Never use waterproof inks. Interesting. Never use waterproof inks. That seems, I don't know. To avoid ink leaking, carry pen upright. Replace cap after use. That's probably the most important part of that. You don't always have to wash it. Anyway, it's just a clamshell. It opens like that. There's no difficulties in getting the pen out. The pen itself is really simple. There's nothing on the top there. The clip is flimsy, but it does its job quite well. You could probably break it, but I will. It might be difficult. Although kids playing it will probably break it. It says UK at the top because it was made in the United Kingdom. I believe England, but I could be entirely wrong. There is a silver ball at the bottom, and the barrel and cap are just smooth pink plastic on this model. It also comes in black for the calligraphy versions and for the calligraphy tin versions. So if you get this in a tin, metal tin, which strangely enough comes inside a blister pack, these are black. You can also get the calligraphy versions that are in the same type of clamshell packaging that this is, and if I remember correctly, those are green. Now this is the replacement for the Dodeck, which I forgot to get, and I will get just a second. And the Dodeck is this pen that I have previously reviewed. It came also in a calligraphy set that was green and with a regular nib in medium in a pink version. They're using the same coloring scheme. I don't know why the regular nib is always pink. You'd think they'd make that like blue or something, because everybody likes blue, and sometimes boys don't like pink. I don't know why. Pink's a fine color. Although, it is definitely not my first choice for anything. But if you just want a medium nib, you gotta go with pink. Now, one of the problems with the Dodeck was that the cap is extremely brittle, and I don't know if you can see, I don't even remember where they are, but there are definitely some stress cracks on this cap, right there. I held that out of frame because I'm not the smartest person in the world. Focus, focus, focus. You gonna focus? Focus, focus. There's some strange gunk there. There's definitely some cracking around that area though from screwing it on, and potentially from posting, although I don't know if I posted this that often. It doesn't seem like you would want to post it. Anyway, tightening the pen too tightly will start to crack that very brittle clear plastic top. It's almost like a big crystal, and you wouldn't do too much to a big crystal. Anyway, this is supposed to replace that, and I thought that was great because it should be more durable, and indeed it should be. The section is identical to the old section. Of course, this one happens to have a calligraphy nib in it, while the new one has a medium nib in it. It's interesting, the calligraphy nib is marked and this medium nib is not marked at all. This section is quite comfortable, and it flares out a little bit so that your fingers don't slide up onto the nib. It's easy to hold, it's nice, and the pen is quite lightweight. And here's something interesting. This old version of the Classic, which is not inked, posts absolutely perfectly. There's no stress on the cap really, it posts nicely, securely, and it gives you a bit of a long pen, but it's not top heavy because the pen is very, very light. So there's no problem closing it at all or opening it. It doesn't feel like you're putting any undue stress on the cap. This pen, it does. Opening's fine now. It was a bit hard when I first got the pen, but posting doesn't work. Does not work. It is very difficult to actually get it on there. It's very tight, and it feels not particularly good. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but we have that cracking problem again from posting it. This was not taking it on and off. These cracks only appeared after I posted it, and I cannot get them to show up on camera. In fact, I can barely see them with the naked eye, but there's definitely one right there. My nail is catching on it. There we go. You probably see that thing. It looks kind of like just a ray of light, but that's a crack. If you're watching this in anything less than I recorded this in, you will not see that. Any resolution lower than that. Anyway, there are cracks, so I would definitely be wary. There they are. Might be able to see them there. I would definitely be wary about that. Definitely, if you're going to give this to a kid, you would want to teach them how to use it properly. Or maybe it's just the pink, and you might want to get them a black one. Because I believe this one, you can get the black calligraphy sets that also come with medium and fine nibs that aren't calligraphy nibs. Or you can just get them a fine italic, which is almost the same as a regular medium nib. It just looks a bit nicer to some people. Not really to me, but whatever. You could also try and get them the green version, which I believe comes with multiple nibs, sometimes calligraphy, but I believe it comes with a set of fine, medium, and broad, and maybe that won't crack as bad as this pink version. I don't know if it's just the pink, or if it's the new way they're making these things, or if this is my problem, but it is a problem that you should be aware of. Oh, I have not shown you. You can see inside the pen, sort of. Just kind of see through. The cartridge goes in there. I am using a blue. I said it came with a blue and a black. It does not. It comes with two blue. I apologize for that. Obviously, I'm not going to post this. Okay, here we are with the writing sample. I botched the first one by holding it on its side. This is the Manuscript Classic. In medium, the ink is Manuscript blue, and the paper is Oxford. Is that what this is called? Cambridge. That's what it's called. It's Cambridge. They have so many different lines of paper that are named after colleges. Anyway, the paper is Cambridge by Mead. Not the best paper in the world, but a paper nonetheless. And I'm waiting for this to focus. Focus, focus. There we go. Okay. The quick brown fox is going to jump over the lazy dog. I hate my Z's. And as you can see, it writes kind of well. Writes fairly well. I held the pen on its side earlier for the writing test, and it was not particularly good because I've had a weird angle trying to do this whole filming thing. If I were to do some fast writing, you can see that this particular ink, I think, is more the problem than the nib, that it has some little sort of jitteriness to it. That could also be the feed. I am not entirely sure, but the ink does feel very dry, and from my experience with this pen, I would say that it is more the ink than the nib and feed, but you can take that with a grain of salt. Fast writing, it doesn't keep up as well. Upside down writing is absolutely worthless. You will get absolutely nothing out of it. Any flexibility? Yes, there's some, but no. I would not do that. I would not recommend doing that. So, but it does write fairly well, and it says smooth writing tip on the packaging. It is quite smooth. For the expense of this pen, it is very, very smooth, and it flows well, as you can see. So, overall, it's a good pen for the price, especially. It is very, very inexpensive, but there are a few problems with it that should probably be addressed, or at least thought of. If you want a very cheap fountain pen that you don't really have to worry about too much, I would recommend the Manuscript Classic. If not, there are other pens that are only slightly more expensive that have much better reputations than that pen. The calligraphy version is great though.